games, this one like really screamed at me in a way I was not anticipating, and it kind of made me realize that I love Resident Evil now.
Did it scare you when it screamed at you?
It scared me very badly. Resident Evil Village is supposed to come out this year, or Resident Evil 8, and the I and the two L's look like eyes, and they come out to the V, so it looks like 8, and it's fucking badass, guys.
Yeah, what do you think the game is actually going to be called? Do you think it's just Resident Evil 8?
I think it's Resident Evil 8-ish is what it's going to be called.
Love it.
And people are going to go wild for it. No, I never cared about this franchise. Like, I played them. I adored, the strongest I ever felt about the games was Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition, which I will go to my grave saying is a masterpiece.
It is great.
And then like 5 came out and it was shitty, and 6 came out and it was shitty, and then there were Resident Evil, Mercenaries, like the 3DS games. I had so completely written this franchise, like, off, and I think I'm probably not alone in that. But even when I was like into it, it wasn't like the type of game that I anticipated. 7, I thought, ruled, and then all the remakes that they've done since then have been like appointment game playing for me. And so I find myself like kind of surprised that I watched the trailer for Resident Evil Village, like the long 2.5 minute new trailer, and was like frothing at the mouth, excited for this game. And it's just kind of a surprise to me that, and maybe this is less about me and more about the fact that Capcom has like so completely saved the Resident Evil series and injected new life into it. And I'm over the moon. I can't wait. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like you two are as horny for this one.
Yeah, and we've talked a little bit about Resident Evil 7 before, specifically with regards to me and not being able to play it because I'm too scared and I'm a baby and I'm scared. There were some mannequins in a house and the mannequins moved and I was like, nope. And then I turned the game off and I've never played anymore. I hear there's a fight with a car, never saw it. I hear there's a rocket launcher at some point, never saw it. Too scary.
Right. It's a good ass game, man. You mentioned all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, that rules. Yeah,
too scary.
You have to like cut your hand off like in the first like 10 minutes of that game. That game fucking rips, man.
I do like the third person ones though.
8 is going to be a sequel, a direct sequel to 7. Also, that takes place and you are playing as Ethan and it's in first person again. And yeah, I just I think the reason I'm excited is because it's not very often that like. Maybe it never happens that like a franchise this old and that has this many releases in it all of a sudden becomes a super, super hot property again. Mm-hmm. And for me, like, it is exciting to have this, this third heat. I have the types of games that I like. I like, big RPGs, and I like games of service games and shooters and stuff like that. This is so far outside of my usual genre I prefer, and that is thrilling to me. And it's actually supposed to come out this year, which is an improvement over a lot of the stuff we've talked about so far.
I do want to mention, though, if you, just as a life advice thing, if you find yourself on a lore page related to the Resident Evil franchise,
get out of there.
You've gone wrong.
Go.
Something terrible has happened. You need to throw your computer out the window and hide in a closet for 50 hours because there's no coming out of that.
No, the way I would suggest you do is you play 4, because 4 is a carnival ride with clowns, literal clowns in it, and nothing makes any sense, and it doesn't really give a shit about what happened with the rest of the Resident Evil series. And then don't play anything else until 7, and then 7 is again you don't need to know anything else. If you hear the name Wesker, run. Get the fuck out of there. If you hear the name Wesker, or even the word stars maybe would be a good code word for you to do. Ava, Raccoon City. If it's in Raccoon City, the game's gonna be shitty. That's not true. That's not a good idiom.